straight into setting you up over there. Well, actually, first things first. Let's get the other device ready. So I can look at the chat, but also this helps me set up the stream better when I'm not having the screen facing me. There we go. Ellie's in. Hi, Ellie. Good to see you. You're like on the quick draws to get in. I like that. How are you today, Ellie? I hope you're well. Oh, thank you, Ellie. All messages. That's about what we can see as I'm looking down there, I guess. Right. Let's spin you around. Well, that hasn't gone quite how I wanted it, but we'll get there. Right, there we go. That looks pretty good. How are we looking? Bang on. There we go. That's good. So we'll do the dad joke a little bit later. Well, as painful as it is to do the dad joke, I'm glad to hear you're all right, Ellie. Yeah, I'm all right. I'm knackered today, if I'm honest. I think it's just like being back at work and out in the cold. It's like cold and damp today. It's just one of those. And yeah, just kind of zapped my energy a little bit. I started quite early as well because I had a load of wood that needed chopping, and I was parked over at Biggleswade, and so I had about a half an hour drive to get to work, which I don't normally like to do, but I was busy last night doing a few bits and pieces. So I didn't want to have the drive over there in the evening like I normally do. I normally like to just start, like literally parked right by where I'm starting work the next morning, save myself the commute in the morning. But this morning I had to chop wood, then get packed up ready, and then do the drive over before I could even get started to work. So I was so rushed at the end of work. It was proper dark by the time I finished. I'm not sure what the last customer was thinking about me turning up when it was. I think basically the sun was setting as I turned up, and I was there until it was like proper twilight. Oh, we have oh, I can't remember her name now. Mark, is that right? I hope I've got the right name. It's Mark, isn't it? Yeah. So I'm absolutely shattered today, so my brain is not 100%. And we've got Sparker in. Hi, Sparker. How you doing, Sparker? Oh, and Gracie. Hi, Gracie. Welcome in. So how is everyone? Mark, Sparker, Gracie. How are you guys? Mark saying, I went fishing today with my friend from daycare. Nice, nice. Did you catch anything? What did you catch? What were you fishing for as well? And he's saying, I left the house late this morning, but I made it to the bus stop on time. Do you know, I used to leave, like my mum used to pull her hair out near enough when I was supposed to be getting the bus to get to school. I would basically, I lived on it was like a bit of like a V, and the bus had to go past my house, get down to a bus stop, and then come back for the one where I get it. And so I knew that if the bus had just passed, I could basically leg it and still get to the bus stop in time. But the bus would go by and I still wouldn't be ready, and I'd be like trying to like get out in time. My mum would be losing her like shit at me, just like get out, like you gotta go, you're gonna miss it. And the amount of times I'd be legging it and I'd see the bus coming as I was like just trying to get there in time. It's hilarious. Right, I've got 3 fairly. Well, that's a bit weird. I'm just gonna do this. I'll get that started. Yeah, I'm bad at names as well, Ellie. I'll be honest. I try my hardest, but I do still get some wrong. And Sienna's in. Hi, Sienna. Yeah, we've like ramped into it with the whole well, not the whole family, but like a large chunk of the family straight off the bat. It's fantastic. I love it when you all kind of find me that quickly. Sometimes I'm here for quite a good sort of 10, 15 minutes before people start finding me. So yeah, it's good. Um, well, that makes sense, Gracie. I imagine at some point you're going to need about a week's worth of sleep all in one go, the way that you don't sleep. Um, yep, Sienna in the building. Uh, yeah, I've got my warm thing on because I got so cold today. So I've got the stove on and I have warmed things up quite well. I'm just going to check on that actually. Yeah, yeah, it's looking all right. I might just liven that up a little bit, open up the drawer, get some more airflow so it burns right. But yeah, you can see I've got my my thick, I don't know what you call this. I don't know what you call this top. Um, but yeah, it's just wanting to warm myself up because I really needed it today. And I have been a bit naughty. I've got myself some chocolate chip shortbread biscuits from the Co-op when I was doing a bit of shopping for a few bits and pieces for the week. And yeah, whew, a few of those have gone down very nicely this evening and just kind of helped me warm up a little bit. Ellie's saying my mum woke me up 7 times and I had about 8 alarms on. That sounds very familiar to me. That does. Like when even now in the morning, so I like having my alarm set, and I will snooze it at least 3 times before I get up, guaranteed. A mile walk every morning. Well, that's good for you, Ellie. That's good. Yeah, and I guess that means you have a mile back in the afternoon as well. So yeah, get yourself some sleep, Gracie. Yeah, just or you mean go down as in like go down the stair? I don't know what you mean. Um, Tench and Rudd. Oh, Rudd, like yeah, I think Rudd is something that Henry has managed to catch a couple of times in some of the local rivers. They can be a decent size. Just reading everybody's chat. No, no, not Berkshire, Bedfordshire. That's where I usually am. I'm not even sure where Berkshire is, to be fair. That's a county what I'm not super familiar with. Noah's in. Wow, hi Noah. That's it's been a minute. How are you doing, my man? Uh, it's not a quarter zip. It goes all the way down. I think you might call this. I don't know, like a zip cardigan. I don't know. I don't know what we call this. Um, oh, badminton night for you. Yeah, yeah. That's true. I guess you've already played. So did you win? How was it? Obviously, Mark doesn't know Noah and hasn't seen him in the chat because Noah has not been in a huge amount recently. And some others of you might not know, but Noah, i.e. Noah Hurl in here, he's my best friend in the world, like a brother to me. So yeah, and he has actually been on streams before. So those of you like Spark who've been with me a long time know Noah quite well, but the new ones of you won't know him at all. Well, Ellie, that's quite a feat. 10 minutes before you got to leave, you're getting out of bed. Even I take more than 10 minutes to get ready in the morning. So, as not stereotype anybody, but as a female, I mean, that's basically magic. 10 minutes, that is. I guess you're not too worried about doing hair and makeup or anything. So yeah, I guess that's unless you're doing that all on the bus on the way in. I used to do my homework on the bus on the way in. I was like I was seen as like the kid who always was always good, but actually I never did anything like I didn't absolutely have to do at school. I was very lazy, and so like if there was homework, no matter how difficult it was, I'd just piece together something. Like I wouldn't revise for anything, and I the amount of times I was like just rushing to put together some level of homework on the day of, on the way in on the bus, and like stealing a bit of time. If it was late in the day, I'd steal a bit of time during other classes to kind of finish it off. It's a steep hill up to mine, so I have to try not to fall down the hill. But I fell up the stairs early and landed on me. Oh, do you know that the fall up the stairs is always worse than the fall down? I don't know why. Oh, Berkshire's like, oh, I see. Now it's giving me the heads up about where Berkshire is. Fair enough. Um, a fair play to you, Eddie. The hair at school and don't do makeup. Well, I guess I mean you're young enough, you don't have to worry, and B, yeah, I'm not a fan of a lot of makeup or any. To be fair, I think natural au naturel is usually better. You don't do your homework till you listen. I've done that a few times, but the problem was my teachers would ask for the homework first, so they couldn't do it in that actual lesson. So I had to always do it in some other lesson or like I say on the bus on the way in. And the thing was, I hated the bus trip. Like it was like a waste of time. Like I wasn't doing anything. So I was like, I loved it. I always wanted to do something with it, and that's why I'd love to just get my homework sorted and do it on there. And also have other people to ask at that point. I could ask people, "What did you do? How did you get this bit?" And I'd literally just get it all done. Noah says, I get up around 1 hour and 15 minutes before I leave for some reason that Molly knows about. I'm trying to think, I'm so tired, I'm not sure what Noah's talking about. What I do know is that when we're on camp, me and Noah, like I generally basically, like he'll wake up after me or at least be lounging around in his tent while I'm getting ready, making too much noise for him to sleep probably. But I'll always get up, start getting stuff ready, and I won't bother waking him up until I'm quite far into the process of packing down because I know that he's just going to be a lot quicker than me because I kind of dither around in the mornings. I'm not a very good morning person. I never have been, and I've been known to be able to get out fairly quick. But my lord, these days I'm just like I've been known to waste like 3 or 4 hours in the morning before getting out to work. It's crazy. Um, Mark saying I'm off to Rotherham in April. What are you doing there? Is that like a fishing trip or something? Oh, for Kate. Oh, for a Katie Hopkins. No, I've just read down a bit further. Sorry, Mark. I'm well behind on the chat. Right, I'm going to try and speed up because I also want to play a bit of Bandido. Um, Mind you, at this rate, with all of you guys in, I might not get to play at all, which is fine. We're here for a chat as well. Um, Gracie's saying, oh, what? Sparker's saying the main diet of our dog when I was at school was my homework. Well, that's what you told your teachers, I'm sure, Sparker. Classic. Gracie's saying my alarm just went off, so I'm gonna go down, do what I need to do, then come back. All right, see you, Gracie. Take care. Um, and he's saying I try to get my head together and I try not to be moody, even though I'm exhausted. Cool. Yeah, it's tell me about it, Eddie. And I guess you've got it worse because you're dealing with this constant pain with the knee and everything. So that's I don't envy you that. We have a wonderful waff waff. Got rummy cub for the family over Christmas. Nice. I like a bit of rummy cub. Rummy cub is fun. I played that with Noah and a few of my friends, and yeah, I don't have it actually, which I should get it because even likes that. Um, all right, here we go. And he's saying, I'm not a morning person like I'm a night outside. Yeah, same here. I'm not like trying to get to sleep is bad for me because I'm like always trying to find something to do. My brain does not want to go to sleep ever. Although I think tonight I'm so exhausted, it's going to be one of the nights where I'm just going to zonk out really early. I'm going to be like the proverbial log. Oh, Nope is in. Hi, Nope. Good to see you. How are you doing? We're all just having a bit of a chit chat. Everyone's basically determined not to let me play any Bandido, I think. Yeah, I will get one now. I've got a few games I want to get. Have you played Hive, Noah? Because I want to get Hive. I played it with Luke on the weekend, and it is brilliant. So I'm going to get a copy of that. It's just a two-player game. It is brilliant. It's basically like a it's sort of somewhere between chess and I don't know what like dominoes, I guess, or something like that. It's weird. You basically it's a really cool game. It really is. Yeah, you'll have to come up. I'm going to try and I think I'll just buy the game. I was thinking about maybe a bit like building my own custom board, but Well, I say board, it's just pieces. You don't have a board, but I think it's going to be too much trouble. So we're just going to try to find a nice wooden set and get it ordered. And you'll have to come up. We'll have to do it. We'll have to have some games. Mark only wakes up at 7:30 every morning. Better man than me. I rarely see that time of day. You like poker games? Yeah, me and Noah like a bit of poker, but yeah, we managed to organise a home game one time, but it's not an easy thing to organise. Yeah, well, it's not that hard. It's just a set of like basically black and white or just two different colours essentially, like hexagons, and then I just need like some pictures of different insects on them, and I figured I could, at worst case, just get stickers to put on some bits of wood or something like that. So I don't know. I could go like very different levels in it. I could start off with like sheets of wood and actually cut into it like some oak, and I could ebonize some pieces and not the others, and I could use the ebonizing process to potentially put the pictures on. I don't know, but if I had a laser engraver or something, I could. There were files online you can buy to kind of do it all, but I don't have anything like that. God, you guys getting up so early. I tell you. I mean, I had to get up roughly that time this morning, actually. Well, I set my alarm for 7:30, but I didn't get out of bed until gone 8. I will be honest, as I say, I always hit the snooze button way too many times. Right, I've made that too long now to do anything useful over this end, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to keep it mostly to this end, I think. I'm going to do that. Da, 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 da. It varies what time I get up. To be honest, Ellie, I'm not very good at routine, so I usually get up somewhere around about. I think like, I mean, 8 o'clock is early for me. Like that's usually the earliest I get up, unless I've got something special on. Like if I'm doing like if I need to get out somewhere for like a camping trip or something like that. But my day to day, I would say I usually wake up somewhere between 8:30 and 10:30. I don't know. And my schedule is quite loose, so I don't have to worry too much about. Oh, look at that! That's a nice timing for that. Oh, look at that! We've closed that down to 2, just like that, just so quickly. Ooh, what do we do with this lot? If we put that there, that isn't going to work. I'm going to do something random here. I'm going to do this, and this might seem weird, but I've got a plan here. Oh, I could use that, but I'm going to stick to this. This is my plan. I'm bringing these around. It's not the piece I wanted, but I'm going to cut the or shut the corner down. I mean, we can connect them up. We're down to the 2 still, but now they're very close together. I'm going to turn them into a corner and a single. I'm going to go out that way. I think that's got less danger. 10:30, I would be in the middle of my second lesson. Yeah, that sounds about right. I'm late for everybody. I tell you, like not many people get to wake up as late as me. I mean, what's helpful is my working day is usually about 4 to 5 hours long. A little bit longer if I take a lot of breaks. Like it took me longer today because I was having a few breaks. But I think I started work at about like, I don't know, 10 to 11, something like that by the time I actually got to work because of all the stuff I was doing in the morning. And I finished just after 5. So yeah, I'd say I was working for about I don't know, 6.25 hours today. But I had to have a stop for food a couple of times and a rest because I was just it was just sapping my energy like massive today. And I think it's partly it's Monday, first day back, because I always have like the week off and then I come back to work and it's like so physical that it can tire me out. but I think it's also just the temperature as well. What we're going to do here, I think we're going to do that. Bring them back around again. We've got to be careful though how I bring them together. Tricky. I'm going to do that. See what we get. We ain't going to get a straight piece. We've used 2 up, but could do that. I quite like that. See, the opposite of that here would work, but that one's that. I think we've already used it, so it's a bit of a can't use it kind of situation. But we'll do that. We'll see what happens. Oh, that's nice. Oh, no. So the problem is, if I did that, I'd only have a single. It'd be here, and I'd probably be absolutely screwed. Let's move that over. Yeah, if I did that, that would be reckless. That would be super, super reckless. What else can I do here? If I did this, there are closers that will close that. We haven't had it yet. Yeah, I'm going to have to do that and see what we get. Oh, you're joking. So now look, if I had done that, I could have closed that. It would have been over. That is brutal. That is rude. That is rude. What have we got going on here? You guys make me wish I had Insta. You guys talking about like doing stuff on there, but I really couldn't be bothered there. Oh, Mark saying something about what's GTCS? I'm not even sure what that is. Oh, we've got Sue in. Hi, Sue. Yeah, I'm well today. I've been a bit too cold, so I've wrapped up warm. But yeah, hope you're well as well. Yeah, you need a couple of lions now. I mean, when you got little ones around there as well, that's a rare treat. That is. I don't mind having my weekends to myself, so I could get a nice long lane. 6 hours now. Yeah, so it sounds about like what I mean. I try to get like 8. I usually probably get about 6, and sometimes I have a long one. Like there was one not long ago. Like I think what was it? It was I don't know. There was one where basically Ethan ended up getting like 14 hours of sleep because he'd obviously been shattered from being at his nan and granddad's. And I think during that one I kind of had a long sleep as well, and I'm sure I got about 10.5 hours of sleep. It was a really long one, but I was exhausted, so that made sense. He's saying maybe more more than about an hour and 50. What's this? Oh right. You're talking about sleep still. Mark saying I get 7.5 hours sleep. So we're all getting less than the recommended, aren't we? This is basically, we are a group of people who do not get enough sleep. I'm sorry, saying stop playing with yourself. I don't know if you're referring to Bandido or if I've had my hand down here like fidgeting around, because I have done a few fidgets today. Yeah, Ellie catching that too. The card game, fair play. Well, technically, Ellie, I am playing by myself here. It's not a face-up game, so I can't have you guys join in. I am going to move this over though. I'm running out of space over there. Oh, half of that didn't want to move. Didn't want to force it. There we go. Right. That's a bit better. Generalized tonic-clonic. Oh, is that tonic-clonic? That's a type of seizure, isn't it? I'm sure, like, my medical knowledge at least gets me that far. So is that a kind of what's the thing? And it lights and all that does it. My brain's too sleepy. I can't think of this. Epilepsy. Is it a form of that kind of thing? Is it similar? Epilepsy. There we go. Everyone's saying it after I've said it. Yeah, epilepsy. That's the one. Right. Oh, right. I'm gonna take the risk, and I'm gonna put that one there, just because I can, and then I'm gonna turn that one outwards. You need to get the right piece in there. I know there is a piece. That's not it. We're gonna go there. We're going to put that one there. Then we're going to utilize that. We're kind of making more exits now, which is a bit annoying, but I'm doing my best here. I'm keeping them. Aha, there's the one. Closed it. Solid. Now we ain't got to worry about that. We can actually really make a determined effort to try to close this up. We're down to one. Can we get lucky? Can we get lucky? Oh, not quite. Got another shot at it though. For a closer? No, denied. Okay. Got to think about how I want to put this one down. If I do it like that, I can. Yeah, I'm just going to go like that and hope. Wait, if I do that. Yeah, no, I'm better off going like here, but it does mean I'm going towards the edge of the table, which is annoying. Okay, that'll turn me back that way. We're going to go with that. I'm going to go there. Oh no, all these nasty ones are coming out now. What's going on? All right. Things have opened back up again. This is frustrating to say the least. I don't want to use that one right now. I'm going to put that one there. I'm going to put that one. No, I can't put that one there. No, that's annoying. I'll put that one there. Cool, I've got another one of these ones that I closed with. What to do? I'll put that there. These will have to just be closed up. There's one. I'll close that one up with that. That's done. Oh, that's good. That's excellent. That's really nice. Be good. Be good. Oh, something weird's going on over here. How much space do I have? If I put that there, if I put that there, can I get away with something like that? Maybe. Oh, I'm going to put that there and hope for the best. Oh, I can't put that there. That'd be crazy. Doesn't really work too well here, but I'll have to do. Oh, things are getting a bit stupid now. Oh dear. I'm going to put that there. It's certainly not ideal. That's down to a single. I'm going to put that one there just to get it over here. So we've got onto this one here, two here, and this one. Well, that one's going to close this one off. That's job done there. Oi. Put that there. I'll re-engage with the chat soon. That's not good. So that one's over here. I'm just gonna. I know it's off. You can imagine it there, but I'm just gonna do it here. We're just going off that direction anyway. We're not gonna cycle back up round to here. Oh, I can tell you guys can't even see now. Yeah, so we're basically off the edge a little bit here. And so I'm going to put this one here, but because it's literally just going to fall off the edge, I'm just going to readjust. We have one to close here, one here, and then we're just working on basically this one now. There's another close up. That's going to close that one up. So we're going to turn that into, just going to bend it round just so it looks half decent. There we go. The problem is I'm running out of pieces and I've used a lot of single closes already. I don't know how this is going to work out. This is problematic. I'm not doing a very good job anymore of this. Oh, that one won't work over here. I can close this one off, but the problem with doing that is that I'm just going to end up with problems. I know I have another C close coming up, I think, somewhere, so I can use that here. Hope for another corner. Oh, dearie me. What is occurring? Wait, before, would it be better to use this piece up? Yeah, that would actually be better. Have a plan here. Oh, that's nice. So we can put that there, create another corner. And we'll create a corner there. Yes, I'm aware this looks terrible now, but there we go. I'm going to use that closer here to close that one off. We'll see what we get. Not really tracking very well what closes I have left. We've used 1, 2, 3 straight ones. We've used 1, 2, 3 of them, and we've used 1, 2, 3. Oh, we've used all the straight. We've used up all the single closes. I've got to do this with. I've got an idea. Oh, we can't win. I've got a single over here. I can't close that one off. Well, maybe I could with the right pieces. Ah, wait. I'm going to just quickly now I'm going to put that there, and we'll use that piece there. Just that gives me a shot because I can use a C close to close that, which I still have one of. It's the only way to close that. I need to get these things around. I mean, I don't know how many corners we have left. I feel like we might have one. I've used 1, 2. Yeah, I feel like we've got corners, so I could close that with a corner. But this single one is not going to play ball at all. Oh, that's atrocious. I'm going to put that there. I don't think we're going to do this though. Oh, dearie, dearie, dearie me. Put that there. No, we're done. The C close will go there, but I can't do that. Ah, annoying. Done in. Bandido 1. Right, well that's Bandido over with. I think we're going to go to just chit chat. I can see the chat absolutely flying while I wasn't paying much attention. So I do apologise. Well, my stove is all but out, I think, behind me. So what I'll do is I'll set you guys up and then go and see if I can't. There we go. Actually, like that. That's probably decent enough. Right, give me a second. to be naughty, I'm going to throw one of the bort logs in. They tend to go a little quicker and easier. And then make a nice little bit of flame, because I've let that get really low, so there's barely some embers left. I think we should be all right though. We'll see. Nah, it's not gonna play ball like that. Go on. Be good. Yes. Yeah, we have flame. That's all we needed. Just needed a little bit of flame. Right, we'll have a chit chat and we'll get the dad joke done in a bit. Do I need to catch up? We've got somebody asking, are the utensils AI? They definitely are, because look, they move all on their own. You see them moving over there? Definitely AI going on over there, isn't there? What's this? I saw that Sienna, he needs to lose now and again to keep equilibrium. Yes, indeed. I wouldn't want my head getting too big, would we now? Oh dear. Yeah, look, shall I prove that the utensils are not AI? Shall I prove it by going and grabbing one? Yeah, let's do it. Let's grab one and see what. So I can just grab this late. Oh wait, I know I can't grab them. They don't exist. Whoopsie, my bad. Right. Let's just have a quick scan, see if I missed anything. You guys talking amongst yourselves mostly, I think. Oh, is Ellie going? Oh, bye, Ellie, if I haven't missed you already. Thanks for popping in. Always lovely having Ellie about. Ellie's a fantastic addition to the YouTube family, isn't she, everyone? She's been brilliant since she's found our channel. So yeah, it's really nice when we find new people like that. We're growing all the time. The stats don't lie. I see my stats on my channel. What's Gracie going about Connect for? Yeah, I got your ST. I got your joke before about IA, the independent a-hole, but we try to keep the chats PG friendly. We have youngsters in. Thank you very much. Do I like hopscotch? Not particularly. Oh, so you did, Gracie. Yes, you missed your game. You scarpered and avoided having to play me. Right. I'm gonna crack out the dad joke. Here we go. Dad joke of the day. What will it be? How cringe is this one going to be? Dad joke of the day. Right. What do you call a donkey with only 3 legs? I've heard this one before. A wonky. Rage? Are you raging? Are you, Gracie? Because you missed your game. Play now. Not today, not today, Gracie. I think we're going to wrap the stream up pretty soon, and I don't fancy going to the trouble of getting it all out. But maybe a bit later in the week, maybe like Wednesday or Thursday or something. Well, we got. Oh, now we've got Beth in. Is that is that Cheeky Love Goddess, but with a new handle, or is that somebody new that I don't recognise? Is that our Beth that we have been missing so much because she has not been in for a long time again? What's TRM mean? Oh, do you mean TMR for tomorrow? Am I just misreading that? Oh, it is you, Beth. Ah, welcome back. Lovely to have you back again. And I'm getting on really good, thanks, Beth. I hope you are doing a little better at least. Oh, Sue's off. Good night, Sue. Take care. Thank you for popping in and seeing us all. You've been a lovely part of the chat as always. Cool. I really am I am struggling to talk today. My brain is definitely in need of some quality sleep tonight. Oh, I'm glad to hear it, Beth. Glad to hear it. Yeah, yeah, I was just saying actually, Beth, we've got such a lovely family now. So many of us in here. And people like yourself who we did see regularly, and then you've kind of like, gone and done your own thing, which is fine. There's no pressure to always come in, but we do miss you when you're not here. So it's lovely to have you back. And you seem to be coming back a little bit now, so that's lovely. I hope that's a sign that maybe you're feeling a bit better. So yeah. What's this, Gracie? Your TV is on 6. Wow, come on, Gracie. You'll have people in the chat getting all upset about it. Oh dear. So, well, you see what I mean about that little. So the bort log, look, if it doesn't take much to get it going, and I have got like one of my logs that I've got from the woods in there, sort of like a pretty decent sized one. So, but those tend to burn slowly, and unless you've got quite a few of them in there, you don't get a lot of flame. But these little ones that I buy from Aldi's, they're not the cheapest thing. They're like, I think, I don't know, pack's probably like 5 kilograms, maybe 6 or 7 tops, and yeah, about £5. So they're not the cheapest wood, but the kind of size of them, and they've got the little hole through the middle, and that they light fairly easy as long as there's some latent heat in the stove, and they just give this lovely bit of flame, which I do appreciate. So they have their use. So I like to have like a pack laying around just for ease of just throwing in. To be fair, Beth, you say that, but we'd probably be loving having you in, even if you've had a few to drink. To be fair, I mean, there's limits, obviously, but you can always you can always sort of like come in and say hello and see how it goes. When we're quite late and we don't have too many youngsters in, we do get up to some stuff in the chat. To be fair, and I doubt you could be much worse than Sienna. Sienna is very naughty sometimes in the chat. Oh, Emmy's in. Hi, Emmy. Good to see you. Been loving your little videos. You've been dropping a lot of videos lately. You're almost like, I think you've been doing like at least a couple a day or something. That's really good. I know they're not always super involved, but it's sometimes cute little things. But the piano stuff, yeah, it's brilliant. But it's nice that you're just actually putting something out. It doesn't have to be genius all the time. As you can see, mine's never genius, but it's good to just be consistent, really. Me, rude, Sienna. Yeah, probably. You can tell me off my rudeness later. Spark is saying, "Oh, it's fine, Beth. I'm smoothed most of the time." Not smoothed, smashed. Yeah, I kind of got that's probably something along the lines that you were saying, and I was just like smoothed. uh, what's that question? You're drinking like a Stanley of it now. What? That doesn't even make sense. Which means that you might well be. Oh dear. Yeah, to be fair, Beth, I think it's one of those things as well. It takes a lot to like basically get in trouble in my chat. Um, there are some hard and fast rules that I follow where like if someone comes in making super inappropriate comments about my boys or anything, they're gone. They're gone straight away. Um, and we have had that, unfortunately. There's always some idiots out there. But I couldn't imagine even in a drunken stupor that you would say anything nasty. Um, yeah, probably just you know, you're probably all right, to be honest. Emmy's saying, I'm unsure about what I should post about now. Well, just keep doing the piano stuff, Emmy. And you know, it's a younger generation thing. There's plenty of channels out there that do this sort of dancing stuff and whatnot. The key is just to whatever interests you. The basis of any channel, and if you look at this, this is true of everyone, from like the heights of Mr. Beast down through Veritasium and all the other kind of guys that I watch. Well, I don't watch Mr. Beast, but we all know about him. But like I watch like loads of channels, and all of the successful channels, they have one thing in common, which is that it started and maintains that it's about what interests them. So whatever they like to do, that's what they're doing. Finding a way to make that interesting for everybody else, that's the trick. That's the hard part. Um, and then having the time and energy to put into it to actually make really good content, that's the third and final sort of hurdle, if you like. But it starts with whatever you're interested in. So if you've got a little hobby that you'd want to share with everybody, that's what you do. So if it's the piano, that's fine, and then put your time in with the piano. Maybe make a commitment to yourself to learn a piece over each week, like you're doing Rushi, for instance. You could like basically for the week learn Rushi, and you could put your progress out on that once each day to show like your level of progress on it, or like whichever days you manage to, like say you do it 3 times in a week or something. And then yeah, and it's just about being yourself on there and finding your feet with talking to people, and that's what I'm love doing this for. To be honest, is it gives me a chance to like practice being on camera when I'm tired like this, when I'm feeling great, when I'm feeling down, and whatever I'm doing, I get to kind of like just be myself. Yeah. And it's interesting. There's a lot of people online, and actually this is something good to talk about. Actually, this is something that's been on my mind recently, just because there are a few people, and I know some of our YouTube family even do this, where they make up stories to make themselves sound interesting, or they kind of say a few fibs here and there, just because they feel like they're not in like they're not interested enough on their own, and they're not going to get enough attention or something. I mean, it's different for each person, their motivation, but it usually revolves around something to do with that, like not feeling like they're enough to basically, draw people's attention. But actually, what you'll find is, I look at it sometimes, I think to myself, I'm not into football and watching sports. I'm not into fishing like a lot of like guys, and there's loads of these things. Like I don't go out and drink a lot, and there's all these kind of activities and things that a lot of other guys would bond over, and you'd think, okay, I might struggle to find friends and people to chat with, but actually, I like board games and I like camping and I like going out and doing other things, and I find a group of people who, or different groups of people even, who are interested in at least some of the same things as me, and it doesn't take much before you've got a few friends that are enjoying it. And it's the same basically with YouTube. Is you guys seem to like what we do, but there's plenty of people coming here probably just watch and go, what is this? This is boring, and off they go. And some of them even vocalise that in the chat and say, oh, this is a bit boring, and off they go. And so you can't please everybody. So you just keep doing what you're doing and wait for the people who are into what you're doing to turn up. That's how it works, really. But it's always very good to just be yourself. And it sounds like a cliche, like something that like people say as they get older to the younger generations. Oh, be yourself. And it's actually dead true. You should just be yourself. You shouldn't worry about trying to please other people. If you have to work that hard to please somebody, whether it's online or in real life or whatever, you're that is not worth it to you. Like whoever it is you're trying to please, they're not worth your time. You should probably just focus on doing something that makes you happy. Um, what's this Beth saying? The problem is I end up saying really private or even vulgar stuff when I'm drunk that I wouldn't when sober, which is embarrassing. Well, that's fair play. I mean, do you know what? We've all said some like rather like personal stuff at sometimes, and I'm actually quite open on here. I talk about a fair bit of stuff, but I do keep some things private, obviously. Um, but that's why I've said in the past, Beth. If you want to shoot me an email, I have it on my bio. You can embarrass yourself to me on there. I'm good with that sort of stuff. I don't. I'm not much of a judge with that sort of thing because I've done enough to embarrass myself over the years. So yeah, but that's why I say if you want to talk about that stuff, I think one of the things is if you're liable to say it when you're drunk, that means it's on your mind and it's something you probably want to say. Because being drunk doesn't make you say stuff; it just loosens your inhibitions and stops you from like blocking yourself from doing the things you want to do. And obviously, if you're going to say stuff like that, it's probably because it's on your mind. You need to tell somebody and need to speak it out loud. And you can go to a therapist for that, sure. And I recommend that if you want to do that route. But if you don't like therapists and you don't want to do that route, which is a lot of people, then friends is a good way to do it. Um, and if you haven't got people around who want to listen to that, then some random person like me is the next best thing, or sometimes better than the friends, because at least I don't know you from Adam to like I'm not part of your friendship group or family group, so I'm not gonna sort of like be whispering about it to people behind your back, and it's like there's all them kind of like scary things going on if you try to open yourself up to people in your own life. It is that weird thing of sometimes it's easier talking to a stranger than it is like your best friend even. Um, what's this, Gracie say? Are you the same? I've just had to attract you with what is Gracie saying? Gracie, so like it's just the latest streams we get up to some random stuff. Yep, that's kind of the point, isn't it? Oh, we've got modded chat. Yeah, I think I'd say we've all done it. I mean, I've definitely overshared with people before in the past, but not because of drinking. So I can't relate to the drinking part, but I can relate to the oversharing part for sure. Grace saying the latest stream to be always get up to some the latest streams. What? Gracie. Uh, um, Gracie, you are not making much sense in your chat. I tell you, you've got to start forming your sentences better. uh, um, what's this, Sparker? What are you talking about? Pitch. Are you talking about things you've sent me, Sparker? Oh dear. I don't think you sent me anything terrible, to be fair. Um, yeah, you're probably right, Sienna. I think she's been down under for far too long, or maybe she wasn't lying when she was saying she was drinking before. Maybe that's getting to her. Oh dear. Ah, you're right, Spark. I wasn't sure if you were talking about something. Sometimes I'm aware that I miss the odd comment in the chat, and then my frame of reference and context is off. So I was like, "Oh, are you talking about somebody else or me?" And I was just trying to check. But no, you're fine. You're fine. You haven't overshared anything with me yet, as far as I can tell, Sparker. I tell you, you would be. I don't know what either surprised or horrified at some of the kind of depth of conversation I've had with some like friends like Tim. Me and Tim have talked about some um, very deep stuff that like you don't generally talk to anybody about. But I've talked to some people from YouTube, not just YouTubers like Tim, but actual just viewers and stuff. Subscribers who've gotten in contact and that, and they've shared all kinds of things with me. It's crazy. People, but like I say, it's that kind of thing. It's a bit easier to share to somebody who is a bit of a stranger and is, and like, you know, there's no kind of um, I don't know what the word is, but there's not a huge downside to be worried about. Beth saying, I'm always chatting with my friend, but we usually end up getting drunk together, probably because we always meet at the pub or the casino on weekends. Oh yeah, that'll do it. If you're in that environment, yeah, that's the kind of friendship where, yeah, you're going to end up doing that pretty much the whole time. And we've got Sienna saying, well, Petals, I'm off now. Always the highlight of the day, spending time with such treasures. Thank you, Sienna. We all love you, and yeah, I'm sure you and me will chat soon. Grace saying, the people from Abu Dhabi do what on earth, Grace? Gracie is on one, but that's fine. We all love Gracie. Oh dear, you carry on and enjoy yourself, Gracie. Honestly. Um, yeah, it's I'm obviously, my brain is getting tired again. Oh, hi Kit, good to see you, man. How are you doing? Hope you're well. And yeah, I always think, I don't take this rude or anything. I always think you look a bit like Mr. Beast in your tiny little profile pic. It's strange. It just has that kind of like feel to it. I mean, I can't really see your facial features, so I don't know if they actually look like. But it just has that kind of feel. It's interesting. Um, I'm glad to hear you well, Kit. How was your week started off? Are you working? I don't really know. I don't even know what you do, Kit. To be honest, I don't think you've told us, have you? Gracie calling me Molly now. There you go. It's gone wrong when I'm getting called Molly. No, a joke. I know it's the autocorrect. Oh, dear me. That is funny though. That is funny. Yeah, log's going quite well. How did your week start off rubbish, Gracie? Seems to me you'd have to have great weeks at the moment. I'd have thought every day was amazing for you right now. Keep saying I work for. I'm going to go for Curie, not Curry. That autocorrect will get you every time. Oh, right, that's cool. That's cool. But you actually work for that, so it's not like you're a volunteer. I know that they have employees and that, so that's pretty cool. That must be an interesting job. Oh, you passed out yesterday, Gracie. What do you mean you passed out? As in like you just fell asleep, or you mean you actually like passed out from something? Um, I'm the same, Beth. I tell you, I'm the same. I always have to set my alarm way earlier than I need to get up, because just dragging myself like basically out of sleep and then out of bed is like it's two very separate but very like big struggles for me. I am not a morning person at all. Like any excuse to basically just stay in bed for another like 10 minutes. Sometimes I'll pull out my phone and end up like that's when I'm most likely to end up on YouTube Shorts without even realizing it. Like I'll just pick out YouTube and be like, I'll just watch for 5 minutes while I'm waking up, and then before I know it, like an hour's gone by. I'm like, oh my lord. And then I go, well, it's an hour now, and then I start convincing myself that I don't quite need to get up yet. I'm terrible. I'm terrible for it. I tell you. Oh, you fainted. Do you know what caused it, Gracie? Well, even without mortgage, Beth, there's always bills to pay, and you need food, and so we all need money. I mean, I don't have a mortgage, and I still need money every week for like paying for food and stuff and whatnot. And yeah, we've all got to get out and get the day job done. Mm, excuse me. Hi Vic, good to see you. God, it's been a while since we've seen you actually in a stream. How are you doing, my friend? Hope you're well. Oh, you heading back to school on Wednesday, are you? Sorry, I'm talking great. I've just realised I've not refer. I when I'm tired, I forget to do this. But I was just saying, yeah, Gracie says that she's off today and tomorrow, but she'll be back on Wednesday. So back to school Wednesday. Then that's fair play. Just waiting to hear back from Vic. How are you doing, Vic? How have you been? Fair play, Vic. That's all any of us are ever doing, to be fair. Although I do like to give myself something to plan towards. I find that's the trick for me. I like a goal or something to work towards, or some sort of thing that I like sort of figuring out. Um, yeah, only 3 days to the weekend. That's true. And this weekend I'll be getting Ethan a day early because from now on I'll be picking him up on Saturdays with his brother, and then so he'll be on the stream from Saturdays instead of Sundays. So you guys get to see him for an extra day as well, which is really cool. Yeah, so I get a bit of extra time with him. I'm looking forward to that. Beth saying, I'm trying to keep life simple these days. If I could just stop drinking. I hate that stuff. Well, replace it with something, Beth. Pick something else. It doesn't even have to be a super. Like, the trick here is to pick a different habit, essentially. A different thing to do that keeps you occupied and busy and not wanting to do that. And it's different for everybody what will work and what won't work. But I'm sure there's something that you could do that would keep you away from it and stop you feeling like you do it. No, you won't. You won't see Henry in the stream, Gracie. He's going to only be here for like 2 or 3 hours. I mean, I guess like at some point in the future, I could do the Saturday stream early so that it was done while he was here, if he wanted to. Oh, excuse me. If he wanted to be part of another stream. I'm not even sure what he's been up to. I don't think he's been doing much with his channel, to be honest. It's kind of that thing, like he's at that age where like he picks something up and then forgets about it for a while. He might pick it up again. I don't know. Spark saying also setting small limits on when you drink. Yeah, I think that the issue with setting yourself limits is it's quite hard to follow them. But I see what you're saying about the small limits, like trying to like if you're trying to diet, like it's quite easy to say try to avoid eating after a certain time in the evening and things like that. That's like a kind of limitation where you can go away, and I guess you can do that same with alcohol. You can sort of say don't drink on these days or before or after certain times. Yeah, I think an easier limitation, I suppose, with drinking is to avoid the situations where it become socially necessary and things like that. So avoid the pubs, for instance, and the casinos, as what Beth was saying before. Well, that's what we're just. That's why I'm saying like things like saying don't go to the pub and the casino. That's something that's quite an easy thing to avoid because it's kind of like I've got to go and actually do that thing. It's and you have to travel there. So if you just say to yourself, don't do that. Like if your friend wants to meet up, do it at a coffee shop. Do it, and find an activity you can do. So, and if you think about it, the money that you would save from the not drinking, right? That would give you a decent budget for doing something else, and you could pick up anything. I mean, whether it be like you could take up bowls for all it matters, but you pick up something where it gives you something to do in the times where you would be drinking, because in reality, what you're basically doing is kind of like trying to pass time in a way that doesn't feel awful. And it's more to it than that. But there's simplistic view of it is that that's like the first thing that you can try to tackle, is that kind of like you don't want to pass time thinking about or anything negative, and that helps you do it. Well, like things like that's why I like to play board games, and some people are into movies, other people are into TV shows, and they get really addicted on those. Some people are addicted to YouTube and scrolling on the vertical live feed. You know who you are if you're in here. but yeah, it's and that's something I've done with the streams actually. So from personal experience, I noticed I had bad habits I was doing in the evenings. Um, and I was like, I want to replace them with something good. And so doing the streaming, that's part of that, was me saying to myself, look, if I gave myself this thing to do every evening, like, it's easier to do than say, because I try to say to myself, look, set aside 2 hours an evening to do video editing and for planning videos. And I just couldn't bring myself to do that because like I wasn't in the frame of mind. It felt like a drag to do it. I didn't, and I would put that off and then end up doing the bad habit again. So I had to find a habit that was like, that was enticing, that would be like, oh yeah, that would actually be a fun thing to do, which is where the streaming came in, because I was like, I loved the stream. I always enjoyed the streams when I was doing the camping stuff. So doing it like this, and it's very low. Um, it's, sort of, it's easy to start. Basically, it doesn't. It's a low investment to get cracking on it. I can just go. Do you know what? I'll just take a quick thumbnail and then just get cracking. I mean, I could go into like loads of like trying to post about what time I'm going to start, get a really good thumbnail done, think about great titles. But I'm like, no, if I just keep it simple, I just take a photo of whatever comes to mind, stick that up as the thumbnail, pick a random title, just like whatever's going on, keep it simple. Don't worry if I'm repeating myself a bit, and just get onto the stream and just keep it simple. And then that way I'm not putting any barriers to myself to actually do it, and it's so much easier. What's this? I'm no expert, but my sister was a full-on alcoholic, and she would be drinking vodka while getting ready for work in the morning. Now that's gone past like like the bad habit stage to the proper full-on you're an addict. And there's a definite difference between that. There's some people I think who, like, the people around them might think, oh, that person's got an alcohol problem, they've got an addiction, but actually it's not really that. They're just it's maybe a part of it, but it's not the big part of it. But then there's other people like your sister who, you're drinking to get ready for work. That's a problem. That's way beyond just find a new habit. That's so you need to get that addressed and probably go see some help. Geez, Gracie, I tell you, that's like I hope that's not true what you're saying, that you do that sort of thing, because at your age you really shouldn't be doing anything like that. Oh, we got the hate rose person in saying, I hope you're all well. Greetings from Belgium. Welcome back in. Great to have you back here again. How have you been? Yeah, that's good advice, Barker. If Beth is worried, she should definitely be reaching out, and maybe Gracie should think about it too. Um, Beth saying, I'm actually dating someone for the first time. Hopefully that will help me cut down on my drinking. Well, that's awesome news, Beth. Yeah, well, assuming they're not a heavy drinker themselves, so that probably would help. If you find yourself doing more stuff with them, or like you say someone, I don't know if I can't assume gender, but whoever it is, they, he, them, she, whatever. If if you're basically spending more time with them and you do activities that aren't to do with drinking, that's going to be real positive, I reckon. I hate Rose saying, I have alcohol problem, working on it. It's a common theme out there, to be fair, and I think partly it's a bit to do with just society. We're living in a world that we weren't really built or designed to live in. It's as simple as that. If you think about it, like the world that we live in puts us under stresses that we were never built to withstand. Even like down to what was I going to say? Even down to like decision making. So, like really simple things like what to wear in the morning, what to eat for breakfast, which direction to take to work, and then like all these kind of things that we have to think about, and all these little tiny decisions. We're not built to make them, and there's an actual chemical reaction that goes on your brain. It goes on in your brain and builds up these chemicals every time you make a decision. and it literally just wears you down, and you're not built for it. You're built to make maybe like a dozen in a day or something, and we're making hundreds instead. And there's other things like that, obviously, like the social pressures, especially with social media and that these days. That's something we weren't built for, and we weren't built for all these different things. And obviously, and even going to work doing a 9 to 5 job, we weren't built for that. We were not built for that at all. So yeah, all these things can add up and leave you in a place where you don't know how to deal with it, and then you end up with all these things like a lot of people having problems with alcohol, or even not a full-on problem, but just like relying on it a bit. I have problems today. I hate racing. I have problems today heating my stove. Did not get why would not burn. It's okay now. Did not get it. Have you checked the flue pipe? Sometimes the flue pipe gets a little bit blocked up, and that can create intermittent issues. Or maybe what you were burning was damp. That sort of thing happens. They're saying I met him at the pub, and honestly, I'm regretting it all. That switched very quickly, Beth. So you've met a guy at the pub, and now you're saying that, and before you were saying that it would help you cut down your drink, but now you're saying regretting it. So what's to regret? I mean, it sounds like it's pretty early on. So, I mean, if you don't want to talk about it here, Beth, then you don't have to. But I am curious. Spark saying, I'm not saying prohibition is the solution, but people will always seek escape from reality. Well, yeah, I mean, prohibition is never the solution, because people will always find a way around it. I mean, illegal trades have always been going on because people look for those releases. I think the issue is it's addressing the problem before it gets to that stage where people shouldn't really need to get that far with it. I mean, but even in simple societies, people still would use like drugs and stuff like recreationally. But usually, if you have a not, I say usually, that's a very important word there. Usually, if you have a healthy support system around you, and like you've got family and friends and structure in your life, it's not abused, it's just used, which is very different. But yeah, the amount of people with a problem with it is, I feel like it's indicative of all these sort of modern issues, really. You're saying, yes, it's new. I think wood too cold. It's dry for sure. Yeah, well, that can definitely do a thing. So there's running a stove, I will say, is half art and half science. So there's some of it where you can quantify. You can say basically, if your fuel, in this case wood, if it's damp, it will be harder to get to burn, harder to raise its temperature up. And you can think that it's dry, but the difference between, say, 15% moisture content and 25% moisture content, you're not going to be able to tell that like by hand. Yeah, and that would make a huge difference. You could essentially have almost double the amount of moisture, meaning it takes almost twice the amount of heat energy to raise its temperature up, because water is the thing that takes a lot of energy to raise its temperature up. So that can have an effect. The size of the wood has an effect, and then basically the temperature of the wood for sure has an effect, which is why sometimes you see me preheating my wood on the top of the stove. If I want it to burn quick and I want to get a lot of heat out, then I'll preheat on the top, so then when it goes in, it goes very fast. If basically like in the situation where I just let it get quite low, so I didn't have a lot of, and then that's the other thing, if you've already got the temperature of the stove up, you'll find things burn easy. But if you're just starting the stove off and you're starting from cold, you kind of need to have a lot of small stuff to get going to raise the temperature of the stove itself. I find a really good trick for that is just a lot of like cardboard. So if you just make little cardboard logs up and you throw about 3 or 4 of them in, get them lit, they'll go easy because you don't need even firelighter for them, and they'll start to burn. You get a bit of a rager going in there from it, and it raises the temperature of the stove and all the environment inside. I mean that when you then start sticking your wood in and stuff, it'll actually go a lot easier, and it'll maintain a proper draw on the flue pipe, and like obviously the latent heat will warm things up a lot easier. So yeah, but there's a lot of art to it in terms of like little finicky things like airflow flowing through materials and things like that. There's so many factors involved. And yeah, like a change in supply of wood, where you store your wood can make a difference just through moisture content and temperatures. But it's so much more than that. It really is. It's crazy. So Beth saying, I'm not really up for talking about it, but much. But a lot of people have judged me over it. He's a great guy. I don't have a problem with him. It's just me and the situation he's in right now. Well, I mean, that'll do it, Beth. That'll do it. Situations like, timing can be an awful thing, but I won't worry too much about people judging you for anything. Them calling me a home. Oh, Beth, I think I'm getting the picture here. They've been calling me a home wrecker, and honestly, it's ridiculous. I'm not the one at fault. It's complicated, and it's not about me. Yeah, I can't judge the situation here at all, but I can get that it's complicated. So, which is what that reaction was about. That is a complicated situation, which I would not even dare to wade in on an opinion on anything, because I don't have all the facts, and without all the facts, you can't have an opinion. Well, not a valid one anyway. Plenty of people will have an opinion about things without knowing all the facts, which is probably where a lot of the judgment's coming from. If you think about it. Now, I was thinking about, do you know, I was thinking about this just today. I know this is true. I was literally thinking about this. I don't know who to quote, who he was quoting, but one of my favourite TV shows, Ted Lasso, he quoted this thing about there's the scene where he's doing the darts, and he's playing against the guy, and he's white knighting basically, and he's talking about his relationship with his dad and like bullies and stuff like that, and he basically goes on about this quote about uh, um, be curious, not judgmental, and the idea that like you have different kind of like people who are people who are either curious or judgmental. You know, if they see something different or something new or something they don't understand, they're going to be one of two things. They're either going to be curious about it and want to know more, or they're going to be judgmental. And the people who are going to fall in that later category of being judgmental, they're not really worth your time or your worry. So if you're being judged about it, they're just not being curious and probably don't have all the facts. And even if they think like they have all the facts, I'm sure they don't, because they don't have your perspective and your boyfriend's perspective on it. But yeah, these things, relationships, very complicated, very difficult things to navigate. So I wouldn't worry too much about what other people are thinking, and just go with what feels right for you and your guy. Um, but obviously, you know, if there's other people involved, you have to think about them as well, and the thoughts and feelings. These things can get really complicated, honestly. It's crazy. Spark is saying these days, Beth, people are very quick to judge people, ignoring their own faults. Yep, that's it. There. I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? It's that cast, he without sin cast the first stone. That's a properly biblical quote there. But people forget about that one. It's like, yeah, you know, we've all done some stupid stuff. We've all made mistakes. We've done things that might seem questionable from the outside, but we know like we were in the right and things. Um, and sometimes we've done things that we thought were right, found out later that we'd done wrong because we hadn't had all the facts ourselves, or we'd been lied to or misled in some way. And I think this is the thing. Life is too complicated. We go around judging people for their stuff. It really is. Shamala, yeah, I'm hoping I'm saying that right. Saying hi, fella, hi back, Shamala. And hi, I hate Rose is saying I always need to preheat the chimney with gas heater. Very strange. I'm in a valley. That, you see, now that's a great point. Actually, that is completely different conversation. Obviously, is even so like the environment outside, around and above your flue, makes a huge difference. So like my flue is not very long, but it's dead straight, which helps. I haven't got any bends in it, and then when it comes out the roof at the top, I don't have much. Like, it would not be regulation in the house. You have to have a certain amount of height between the opening of the chimney or flue, or whatever you want to call it, and like the roof where it comes out of. And then there's regulations about any kind of like things nearby. It also has to be higher than them and stuff like that. So so there's lots of regulations involved, and some of that is just to do with making sure smoke doesn't kind of go out other people, but some of it is to do with the function of the thing itself, especially like with the length of the flue pipes and stuff, and like how many bends they can have, and how much portion of it can be horizontal, and there's loads of stuff like that. And being in a valley could definitely affect things. Like, you could end up getting a lot of down pressure. and then that could affect your draw and your draft. It's yeah, it's all sorts of things like that. If I do not get smoking, yeah, so you're getting backdraft from from the wind conditions probably if you don't have the flue preheated. Yeah, so I get a little bit of that here if there's a lot of wind outside and I'm in the wrong position. Sometimes it'll start off okay, but then as it's just get if I'm going for a bit of a slower start, it can take a little bit of time, and for that first sort of 5 minutes, if the wind kicks in the wrong direction, I get a little puff of smoke come back out. It's very rare that happens, and most of the time these days I just throw a bit of cardboard in and get it heated really fast. And it doesn't take long to get this thing heated because from about this point here and upwards, that's basically a 5 inch pipe inside, but it's got an inch of insulation all the way around it, so it's 7 inches wide in total. And then only this bit is single skin here, and that's single skin just so that it didn't take up too much space, so that I can actually fit a pot on the front of the stove, which is quite handy, so I can still cook. And also this actually I can take this. I put like a sheath around it that I built myself to kind of protect the surfaces around from any radiated heat, getting things too hot, and you might get spontaneous combustion. But but this single skin wall here, that actually has a access point in it, so I can actually, if anything goes wrong with the damper inside there, I can get access to it and sort it all out. Um, Beth saying, I'm starting to feel like I'm cursed in some way. I'm really struggling with myself. You shouldn't not feeling great about myself at all. Don't think like that, Beth. Honestly, if you're doing the best you can, and you're trying, that's all that anyone can ever expect from you. And if there are people around you expecting more than that, that's not on, and that's a problem for them, not for you. Don't let people make you think like you're less than you are. You know, you just do the best you can, and that doesn't mean you've got to be perfect. Doesn't mean that every decision you make is going to be good. Doesn't mean that every bit like that you're doing something positive and productive at all moments of the day. We all have the parts of the day where we're a bit sluggish and can't be bothered. We all do things where we're like, I mean, everybody, and I mean everybody, myself included, we all do things where we're like, we know that the right thing is option one, but we want to do option two, and we will come up with an excuse to do option two. Like we'll justify that somehow, and we'll come up with whatever. And sometimes we're not even quite aware that we're doing that. It's like a bit of like a subconscious thing. But yeah, we all have our moments. It's one of those things. But don't judge yourself. Just do the best you can. And if you falter, if you feel like you yourself don't like what you've done, use that as an experience and just try to grow from it and do better the next time. But none of us learn our lessons on the first go round every time. So even that, you know, just don't hate yourself for your mistakes. Just try to grow from them as best you can. Um, I was saying nothing about wind. It's always yes. That could, well, like you say, you're in a valley, so it could be the valley profile. There could always be like a bit of down pressure, which could do the thing. But also just with like I say, it depends on a lot of stuff. So if you've got, it depends on the how your flue pipe works in terms of has it got any horizontal, and has it and sort of how long is it in as a whole? Is it insulated? Which I assume it is if it's in a house. Um, but then there are other things like there might be a blockage in it, and things like making sure that your damper is fully open, so that the air can flow. But if you're getting pressure backwards to push smoke in, that's not a great sign. But as you have a heater for the flue, then that's all you've got to do. Just use, that's why you've got one probably, is just because you know, it's whatever however the installation was done, the person doing that knew his stuff and was like, yeah, you're going to need to preheat this thing to make sure you got the draw before you get going. So yeah, just keep using it. It's not necessarily a problem so much as just a like a aspect of how your setup works. That's all. Spark is saying, Beth, life is a roller coaster and sometimes we go through dips. I know because the dips are unpleasant, they seem to last longer, but things will get better. Wise and sage words there, Sparker. Well said. I you think it's water, but you don't know how to say in English. quite sure what you're trying to say there about that, but um, and then I was in always pre-burn it on gas 30 seconds after, no problem. If not preheat, smoking different. Yeah, I mean that just sounds like like I say, it's just an aspect of how your flue pipe works and how what you've got to do. I have a similar thing with the little tiny shed stove that I have in my shed. Um, it doesn't have a very big flue pipe. It's got a very, very small one, and I find that I need to put a firelighter right at the because there's a little bit of a horizontal section before it goes up, and I basically put a little firelighter there just to preheat the flue pipe, because otherwise I get like a lot of smoke just billowing back out, and that's a bit of an issue. So and it doesn't have like a preheat function like yours, like a gas burner. So I just put a little bit of firelighter at the back, but it's a tiny little stove. And so some stoves work like that. You just have to have the flue pipe heated before you get going. Beth saying, I don't even know what I'm saying at the minute, Molly. I better leave. I need to see it. I'm completely stressed. Sorry if you're feeling stressed, Beth, but you're all you're okay. Don't you worry. Um, just just try to keep yourself like as low stressed as you can. Just be good, but take care of yourself, Beth. It was lovely having you in. Right, I think I'm going to call it, because we're getting close to an hour and a half. I was going to call this at about an hour, and I've ended up chatting to you guys. You guys always do this to me. You end up with giving me some good chat, and I get engrossed, and then I don't realise I've spent a load of time talking, which is fine. It's what we're here for. But yeah, I think I need to throw some more wood in my little stove over here. So yeah, I'm going to say thank you everybody for coming in and chatting to me. And thank you, Sparker, for all your support and kind words for Beth, because yeah, Beth obviously needs it at the moment. Bless her. I think it's a lovely thing for our channel to have a place for people to be able to come and just get a few things off their chest and stuff, and hear some positivity back, rather than what potentially could be quite a lot of negativity from the people in their own lives. So yeah, fantastic. And everyone else, thank you for being here and part of it. Love you all. I'll see you tomorrow. And for now, as always, have fun.